Welcome, 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 everybody. I am so appreciative of you being here. Thank you so much. I definitely appreciate all of you, and I am extremely looking forward to today's session. Now, I want to remind you about something real quick is that, listen, I have done thousands upon thousands of presentations. But what I would like to do today is make this more of a conversation. I want to banter back and forth. I want to have a conversation here. If you are looking for entertainment or humor, you have come to the wrong place. I'm just telling you. If you are here to work on your business and you want to get more referrals in 2026, then you are in the right place. So, I'm going to open it up to gallery view, maybe. There we go. And all right. So do me a favor, all of you, do me a favor. Come on video. Come on video. And let's have a real conversation. My dad had the greatest advice ever. He said, wherever you are, be there 100%. Isn't that great advice? And I have to tell you that I think that is one of my secrets to success is just an enormous ability to focus when focus is necessary. So do me a favor, come on video, show your beautiful face, and let's have a conversation. Or I could prop up a PowerPoint or 1,000, and I could just present to you the whole time and basically dance in front of you, and neither one of us would learn a lot, right? So my first question to all of you is how many of you want to get more referrals in 2026? Raise your hand if you want to get more referrals in 2026. So 3 of you want more referrals in 2026. That's good. We've got to start here with a couple of you. That's good. So the rest of you either want less or the same amount of referrals in 2026. So right off the bat, let's talk referrals. Are you guys okay with talking referrals? Like, what is a referral? A referral is when someone entrusts you with the name of another with the potential client in the opportunity, right? Would you guys agree that's a referral? Right? When somebody puts their own reputation at risk and has the courage to mention you over all the other realtors they know, that is a referral. And that's a pretty special thing. So let's talk referrals. How many you want more referrals in 2026? So what is your referral goal? Do you have a referral goal for 2026? Anybody here have a referral goal? This is the interactive part. Where, and by the way, if you've never been on a Zoom before, what the heck? Like, seriously. At the bottom of your screen, there is a reaction button and it says react, and you can actually raise your hand, like literally digitally, or you can just like come off mute and wait for me to find you, and then I can find you and you can say something. Do you have a referral goal for 2026?
I mean, I'll hop on. I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I don't have a referral goal per se, but I have a transaction goal. I'm very social media based, so I do think if I could get at least I do a lot of agent to agent, but in terms of my sphere, if I could get at least 15 sphere referrals, I think that would be great.
Yeah. How would you like to get 15 referrals in one day?
Let's do it.
I'm gonna tell you how to do that. Like by
Okay.
the end of this, you'll know how to literally get 15 referrals in one day. And some of you are like, that sounds like hooey, right? That sounds unrealistic. But by the end of this, you're gonna know how to get fun, predictable, profitable referrals, right? I'm going to show you a way to get predictable referrals. What a concept. For those of you that aren't familiar with my backstory, is I'm America's most referred realtor. And which, I mean, that gives our friend from Canada an opportunity to be Canada's most referred realtor, right, Jaden? So over 500 referrals a year, and over 600 a few years, and over 1,000 a couple of years. Referrals. Did over up to over 400 transactions in a year. And by the way, this was done in freaking Kansas City. If you can do that in Kansas City, you can do it anywhere. Trust me. But I wrote a little book called 7L, The Seven Levels of Communication. Has anybody read it? Has anybody read 7L? All right. So it is the book on referrals.com. Jason has it right there in front of him. It is the book on referrals.com. Like literally, if you go to the book on referrals.com, that will send you to Amazon to get the book. Amazon is actually having a discount on it. I hate that because I already make like $1 a book, but we're not going to talk about my profit per book because that would be a really short story. Dun, dun, dun. So, and the other thing I do warn you is that I'm not funny. So this will not be humorous. This will not make you smile. This is going to be a very serious conversation. I just want you to know that. So just get ready for that mentally. Um, Also, I probably should let you know that this comes with a warning that I represent only myself in what I say. I do not represent Keller Williams or Gary Keller or any of the others. And I only represent myself in what I say, and please hold it only to me. Also, I need to let you know that everything that I'm going to discuss today is 100% TCPA compliant and do not call compliant and RESPA compliant and AI warning compliant. Everybody good? All right. Thank you for the legal department of KW. So let's rock and roll on this. All right. The first thing I want to talk about is how to get more referrals in 2026. So a lot of you have transaction goals. Would you agree? Everybody here have a transaction goal? Anybody want to share your transaction goal? And you are going to instantly feel superior or smaller than everybody else in the room. So, no, anybody want to share it? What is it? Anybody got it?
Yes, sir. Mine's 37.
37. What an interestingly odd number. 37 is a strangely prime number. Did you know that? Like that is a very interesting number, right?
It's what'll get
So,
me to my goal of 300,000.
okay, I like it. So 37. Now here's the thing that is interesting about a transaction goal. When we share, I mean, now here's the thing, 37, in the vernacular of the real estate world, is he a newbie? Is he a messy middle? Is he a top producer? Is he a top team? Where does he fit kind of in that realm? He fits as the top producer. Would you guys all agree if he does 37? 36 transactions is usually a discernment for top producer or not, right? And it depends on the marketplace too. If you're in LA doing 36 transactions, it's probably a little bit different. But here's the thing. Can Jason share that goal with his sphere, with his family, with the people that he knows? So Jason, like if you were talking to a financial planner or like a person in your sphere, what would they think if you told them that your goal was 37 transactions next year?
They would probably think that's lofty.
Would they? I mean, 37 is not very much. Like 37 is not a very big number. Would you agree?
It's more than what I've been doing. So.
No. I don't want your perspective
Okay.
and your perception. Listen, Jason, 37, that's rock star status in my book, right? But here's the problem. The people in our sphere have no freaking clue whether 37 is a low, a middle, or a lot. They just don't know. And here's what you don't want to do. Share it with all the pride in the world. 37 transactions this year. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And then they go to the bank and they deposit their check and the teller goes, yes, that's the 137th transaction I've done this hour. Right? So a transaction is very like subjective and blurry to the people. Now, does anybody have a really cool volume goal? Right? Here's the other thing. Jason, you said that gets me to 300,000. Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
Right? So when you share this, let's say you don't share the 37. you say, well, my goal is to earn $300,000 next year. So what is the response of your sphere to that, do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
That's not
buying
what,
lunch. That's
yeah,
the response.
right. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're buying lunch. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's, yeah, people, that would put me, right close to one of the one percenters, two percenters, you know? So,
Yeah. Yeah. And how likely are your friends and associates and people you know to help you get to earning 300,000? Do you think they're just dying to help Jason make $300,000 next year?
no, some of them probably get jealous, I imagine.
Okay, maybe 99% of them, right? Because obviously you're going to be in the 1% of all earnings. So here's the thing that I want you to know, and everybody to know. Jason, thank you for playing with me and participating. Is the number one thing is we can't necessarily share our goals with the people around us. We can't share them because they don't have any perspective or perception. They don't understand 37 transactions. They don't understand 9 million. Can you imagine Jason sitting with there's a single mom with 3 kids that he's having tea with, and the mom goes, hey, working hard over here. We're doing a lot of good stuff. And it's like, hey, Jason, what's your goal in, like, what are you most excited about in 2026? Jason goes, my real estate goals. And she goes, oh, that's cool. Like, what's your real estate goal? Jason goes, to do 10 million in volume. 10 million, right? Now, what's the single mom thinking? You make $10 million. You're buying tea. You're buying lunch, right? So the fact of the matter is, and listen, sometimes we want to share those goals just to feel bigger, and I get it. But what if we had a goal that when we shared it, they would get on board and help us achieve it? Would you guys want to have that discussion or not? No, we're good. How many of you want more referrals in 2026? I'm about to share right off the bat. We are literally 15, 20 minutes in, and I'm going to give you the secret to more referrals. All right. So you all need a referral goal. You, like, how many referrals do you want to get in 2026? So somebody give me a number. Somebody give me a number that you would love to get in 2026.
12.
12, right? 12 referrals is great. That's one a month, right? And you're probably going to convert 60 to 75% of those. So that's 8, 9 transactions. That's a really good number. Now, and Jaden, your numbers are higher than that, right? So, but here's the thing that I want you to do. I want you to think a little bigger, and you guys are in KW, right? So you're familiar with the 411. Anybody? Let me just explain the 411. The 411 is essentially you have a yearly goal. You break it down to monthly, right? Which 12 is pretty easy for that, right? So 12 would be your yearly, monthly would be one a month, and then weekly. Everybody good, right? So for 37 transactions, you'd take 36 really, right? It'd be easier on the math. And it'd be 3 a month. And then I need to do 0.8 per or 0.75 per week, essentially transactions, right? We're going to do that with referrals, but I'm going to put a friendly twist on it. How many of you would be okay with 52 referrals next year? You would be okay with 52 referrals. All right. So I'm going to tell you exactly what your goal is. Now, here's the thing. This is dangerous because I'm about to share with you, like, the language, and you might think, well, that's not my goal. It's Michael's goal. But what I'm hearing from all of you is that 52 referrals would be fantastic. Everybody good with that? And we can't do less than that to make this work. Think about that. All right. So I'm going to give you that. You need to write this down. Right. My weekly referral goal is to give 2 referrals and receive one referral. You need to write that exactly as I stated it. My weekly referral goal is to give 2 referrals and receive 1 referral. My weekly referral goal is to give 2 referrals and receive 1 referral. All right. So is that a nugget right there? Who could you share that with? Who could you share that with? Could you share it with your mom? Jason, go ahead and answer. You wanted to answer.
I have a lot of referrals for contractors, HVAC people, plumbers, electricians. I get that all the time. People ask me for referrals.
Exactly. So here's, and some of those are annoying, I'm guessing, right? But here's where I want to go with this, right? Is if I'm sitting across from a single mom with 3 kids and she says, "What are you excited about?" I'm really excited about my real estate goals. And she goes, "Well, what are your real estate goals?" And I go, "My weekly referral goal is to give 2 referrals and receive 1 referral." How does she take it? Is she okay with it? She's probably okay with it, right? And then let's say the single mom also runs a out of home business that is for jewelry, right? And I'm just making stuff up here. But what does she think when I share that goal with her? My weekly referral goal is to give 2 referrals and receive 1 referral. What does she think, Heather?
Who does she know?
Maybe. I would love for that to be her first response. Here's the thing. When people have a first response, is it typically selfish or group minded or unselfish? First impressions, people usually go where first? They go selfish, right? So her first reaction to hearing that goal, she pegs in on the what part of the goal?
She's going to get a referral.
Yeah, she could get a referral. And it's likely that she would get a referral because my weekly referral goal is to give 2 a week. Yes. Well, so what does she need to do to get a referral from me?
Give a referral.
All right. So now I didn't say that, but the goal as stated suggests that if you give me 1, I'll give you what?
2.
I'll give you 2. You can't outgive a giver, right? So here's the thing. I don't want to over explain that this one sentence has gone through 10,000 iterations in 25 years. I just want you to know that this is the end product of my passion. My passion is referrals, right? So what is the other thing that is powerful about this one sentence goal? Other than we can share it with everyone kind of accepts it. Everyone now knows, that kind of thing. What do you like about that goal?
Better to give than receive.
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? Can you go around yelling, "I'm a giver"? Hey, I'm a giver. It just doesn't work, does it? It doesn't work. You can't yell. What's cool about giving is nobody wants to hear how much you're a giver. They want to see it. You have to show you're a giver. People are going to but here's the thing. By definition, when we share that goal, what are we telling other people about us? That we are a giver as well as a receiver. So the first thing they get is, it reframes you in their eyes. You are no longer a pushy salesperson. You are no longer a realtor. You are a giver. Now, what else is powerful about that goal?
Reciprocal.
It has in it an innate sense of reciprocity. Now, you may want to write this down too. How many of you are generous givers? You're right. And that's what I found about the generosity generation, which is my people. Generosity generation came out of the book 7L, turned into this huge community, and it's a beautiful thing. And what I've discovered is the generosity generation tends to attract generous givers. That makes sense, doesn't it? Well, here's the thing that I want all of you to know is that you also need to be appreciative receivers. Be appreciative receivers. So when somebody wants to give you money, what should you do?
Thank you.
Take it. Take it and say thank you. When somebody wants to give you a referral, what do? You take
Thank you.
it and say thank you. When somebody wants to give you an opportunity, what do? You take it and say thank you, right? So we need to be appreciative receivers. And one of the things that frustrates me a lot of times in my teaching and in my coachings is that they are getting opportunities, but they don't know what to do with it. So there's a saying out there where, you know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. You can lead a realtor to an idea, but you can't make them think, right? I'm just saying, that's not me saying that, but it's one of those where, ladies and gentlemen, I have given Facebook posts to agents who posted it, and then it says, DM me if you want more information on listing your house. They got a DM from somebody, and then they came to me and said, what do I do now? I mean, I can't help that. Like, it's like, do a listing appointment, like set the appointment, right? Set the appointment, set the appointment, set the appointment. I'm just saying, set the appointment.
Doing
So
great.
it's one of those where, like, we need to be ready to be appreciative receivers when the time comes. And I just, giving and receiving are two sides of the same coin. They really are. They're as critical as inhaling and exhaling. Some of you are givers. You will give to the bone. You will give to the bone. You are just giving. And yet all this time, people have trying to give it to you, but you've said, duh, no, you're self-sacrificial, right? And it's like, don't be a self-sacrificial lamb. Be a roaring lion. When somebody says, how can I help you? Have an answer for them. And of course, my answer is going to be what? If somebody asks me how they can help me, what do I say?
Referrals.
That's the answer. That's always the answer. That is the answer. When somebody says, what can I do for you? What do I answer? Referrals. Referral. And you know what's funny? You're like, that's such a funny answer. Like, what do they say? And you know what they say? They say, what are you looking for? Like, what kind of people are you looking for? Who are you looking for? Isn't that funny? You're probably thinking they'll just laugh or whatever. They don't laugh. I just answered their question with what? The absolute truth in one word. So, all right. Any questions, any final questions on the referral goal? And just so I'll throw it out there to you. The other powerful thing about having a referral goal that you share often is people instantly learn what's important to you. If you share that you want to make 300,000, they think money is important to you. If you share 37 transactions, they think transactions are important to you and they have no clue what that is. So they can't help you even if they wanted to. If you share 9 million or 10 million in production, they know that your volume and the dollar amount of the homes you sell are important to you. And they don't know enough luxury people to fill you out on that, even though you'd be willing to sell a $400,000 home. So the fact of the matter is what's important to you? It's referrals, because referrals are going to get the transaction goal. They're going to get the volume goal, and they're going to get you the income goal. Would everybody agree with that? It's also going to help you with your profit goal, but I'll work that in later. So just so you guys know where I'm coming from is that my passion is this simple sentence: how to get the most amount of referrals in the least amount of time without spending a dime. That's my passion. That has been my passion since the day I got in this business. Somebody asked me, you guys want to hear a funny story on goals? Howard Brinton was doing a session. Anybody remember the name Howard Brinton at all? Maybe, maybe not, right? God rest his soul, right? I mean, one of my big mentors, a tremendous mentor for me, put me on stage way before I was ready, allowed me to stumble and struggle and step on toes. And yet here I am later, right? So he went to an event and he was doing an event in Kansas City. And so everybody had their goals, right? So people were setting their goals. And then what do a lot of trainers say when you get done doing your goals? What's a very common phrase you guys hear? I can't hear you. You're gonna have to come off mute and say it.
Keep
So
going.
what are your goals for next year?
Yeah, right. But
What's the new
like
goal?
so yeah, so let's say we're all in the room and we write down our goal for next year, right? What do a lot of trainers sometimes say?
How are you
Double
going to
it.
execute it?
Double, right? That Rachel, you're right. That's what they should say. But some of the trainers that I'm not a fan of will say double it. But in this case, I said I couldn't double my goal. What if you can't double it? And he goes, "What are you talking about? And what are you talking about? You know, you can double anything." And it's like, no, my goal. This is my first year in the business, ladies and gentlemen. My goal is to be the greatest real estate agent in the history of the world. That was my first goal. So how do you double that? Right? So we had a nice discussion about that and they all laughed at me. They all laughed at me because of the goal. Thank you for not laughing at me now. But that was my goal when I started in the business. And I think that I had some systems in place that, like, for the clients I worked with, they had a great experience. But my passion from the very get-go has been, all right, how do we get the most amount of referrals in the least amount of time without spending a dime? Because I came from a very poor and humble beginning. I basically grew up in a shack in Kansas City. No joke on the shack. A few years later, after we moved from there, they actually bulldozed the place we lived because they were basically a bunch of termites holding hands to keep the walls up. So it was pretty rough existence in my beginning. So, all right, let's go to our GPS and our 135. Have you guys been doing the business planning and that kind of thing? So you guys understood the 411. Now I want to go to the 135 and the GPS. Okay. And so the goal is, my weekly referral goal is to give 2 referrals and receive 1 referral. So now we've got to go 3 priorities and 5 strategies. Okay. Now I'm going to give you those answers and we can debate them, right? But one of the first things that we're not going to do to get more referrals is verbally ask for referrals. Over 600, 700 referrals a year, I never verbally ask for a referral. Never. I don't believe in it because it might end up what? That conversation may end up what? What? Like,
Feeling needy? Looking needy?
maybe, yeah, feeling needy. And when one person feels needy in that conversation, then how does that conversation turn out? It turns out kind of what?
Like awkward.
Awkward. That's the exact answer I was looking for. So here's the thing I want. My business and the referral mastery system, everything I do is based on the belief of I want to make people feel awesome, not awkward. So everything you're going to hear from my perspective is how I built my business on a foundation of love, generosity, and appreciation. That is what I built my foundation on. So, and we have like 100 strategies under each of those that I'm not going to go into today. I'm going to focus on one of the pillars the most. Okay. So how many of you are familiar with MREA? Right? If not, you should have read it if you're with KW. That's just the answer. So in MREA, it talks about how to communicate with your sphere. There's 2 things in there. There's the 8x8, and what used to be the 33 touch has now amended to the 36 touch. And there are some people out there that are promoting a 100 touch. Not me, just so I'm going to throw that out there. But what if we could combine the best of the 8x8? 8x8 is 8 touches in 8 weeks. And the 8 touches essentially brand yourself top of mind in the recipient of the 8 touches. Everybody good there? The 33 or the 36 touch really turned out to be like, what are the 3 touches you do on a monthly basis? 3 times 12 is 36. So, there you go. Well, the first thing I'm going to let you know is that not all touches are equal. Would you agree with that? How many of you are married? You totally know what I'm talking, right? When I'm just saying, not all touches are equal. I'm just throwing that out there. So, like a direct mail piece has a certain feel to it. A handwritten note has a different feel to it. Would we all agree that a handwritten note has a better touch and feel than a direct mail piece? We're going to agree with that, right? And then we have email, and then we have text. Would you say that a text has a better feel than an email? It just has a better feel. Well, and then above that is in text, we actually have three levels or 4 levels of text. We have text, and then we have a text with a photo. Would you agree that a text with a photo has a warmer feel than a text? All right. And then we have an audio text, not voice to text where we record it and it prints it, but an actual audio recording of our voice in a text message. Would we all agree that the audio text has a better touch and feel than just a photo text? Yes, right? And then there is video text, and a video text has a better touch and feel than an audio text, a photo text, or a regular text. Everybody good? Right? And then here's what's really cool. A phone call has a better feel than all 4 of those or any of the others that we talked about. Then we have an event that has a better feel than a phone call, and a one-on-one has the most intimate, amazing feel. And guess what? We have just outlined the 7 levels of communication from the 7 levels of communication book. Now, so here's the thing on that is we need to mix touches. And this is what I've been saying to my Referral Mastery Academy people is the fix is in the mix in 2026. We need to mix touches in a way that gets us referrals. And I have a little bit of ingenious and friendly way to do that. So what I'd like to cover in the next 5 minutes is the following. And you guys play with me. You guys say yes or no. And if you say no, then I'll do something else. But what I'd like to cover in the next 5 minutes is I'm going to cover the best direct mail piece you could ever send to your database. I'm going to cover the best email you could ever send to your database. I'm going to cover the best thing to say in a phone call to call your database. I'm going to also cover the best Facebook message you could ever send to someone on Facebook. I'm also going to cover the best text message or what to say in that text message to send to your database that will get you the most amount of referrals in the least amount of time. Are we good with that so far? Are you okay if I cover all of those things? I'm going to cover the number 1 best reason to ever contact your database. Everybody good? Are you guys open to that?
Yes.
All right. So what is the best direct mail piece? What is the best thing we could say in a direct mail piece? What is the best thing we could write in a handwritten note? What's the best thing we could say in a phone call? What's the best thing we could say in a text? What's the best thing we could say one-on-one? What's the best Facebook or social media post we could ever make? What if the best reason for all of those was the same thing? What if I gave you the one thing that you could talk about every day, every year, for the rest of your career that would lead to referrals? Would you be open to that?
Yes.
So, yeah, me too, right? So I wish I was around when I was getting started. I had to create all of this on my own, but I did stand on the shoulders of giants. I've read over 2,500 business referral relationship, like event books, and rolled them into my system. And I continue to update and tweak my system every single day. In fact, that's what I was doing this morning, is tweaking session 1 of Event Mastery VIP edition that starts January 6th. And so here's the thing. The best reason to ever contact your database, the best email, text, phone call, handwritten note, Facebook message is, you may want to write this down, an invitation to an event. It is an invitation to an event. It is an invitation. The best thing you could ever say. It's not a market report. It's not an equity report. It's not a, hey, checking in on you. It's not a home anniversary. It's not a birthday. It is an invitation to an event. So why do you guys think that the best communication to come out of our lips, to come out of our mouths, to come out of our hearts is an invitation to an event to another human being?
It's about them.
Yeah. What about them?
Makes them feel special.
Yes. Yes. Jason, you nailed it. And I know everybody else was thinking the same thing. Here's 2 things that every human being wants. Number 1 is they want to be invited. Everybody wants to be invited, even, and in some cases, so they can say no, but they want to be invited. In fact, you guys can all invite me to your events. I will never attend. I'm just saying right here, listen, I still want to be invited, but I'm not coming. You know what I'm saying? Right? I'm a huge introvert. When 2020 came and they were like, you are locked in place, you can't leave your house. No. And I was like, I have been preparing my whole life for this. It was such a joyous occasion in my household, not for the COVID reasons, but for the lockdown reasons. So I'm a huge introvert. So that's the first thing you need to understand, is this is an introvert talking about events. What is the conundrum? Now, if you're going to invite people to an event, what do you need to make sure you do? You need to make sure you have an event. I'm just throwing it out there that you need to have an event planned if you're going to invite people to an event. Now, you can actually get away from that. I'm not going to cover that today because I truly believe the power is in hosting events, not just attending events. But so remember, we're doing the 135 GPS. Our goal is referrals. And we stated in one sentence, our weekly referral goal is to give 2 and to receive 1, right? I also want to throw a note out to that, is that you're going to win that referral goal. Ladies and gentlemen, realtors win the referral game every single time. For every transaction that you do, you are going to hand out 6 to 8 referrals. You're going to hand out a mortgage professional, an inspector, maybe 2 or 3 inspectors. You're going to maybe give out 2 or 3 contractors. You're probably going to give out a warranty company referral, maybe, right? So in many cases, and by the way, a title company or closing attorney, in many cases, we're the one who refers those out. So ladies and gentlemen, for every transaction we get, for every referral we get, we hand out 6 to 8 referrals. So your weekly referral goal, you're going to blow it out of the water when it comes to the giving part. And you need to share that, right? So my weekly referral goal is to give 2 referrals and receive 1 referral. And I just want you to know, I've already achieved the 2 part. I've given out 4 referrals this week. I gave out a referral to a mortgage professional, a financial planner, a CPA, and a bookkeeper just this week. How many of you are referring a lot of people out? You're a resource, right? So track it. You need to be tracking these numbers. And just so you know, you might feel like you're losing at the end of the year when you've referred out 80, but you've only gotten 10. But I want you to also know that we are also winning when it comes to that game, because the 80 you sent out, if you added up all the money they made on those 80, it would not even compare to the 10 that you did. So we win the referral game at every turn, but we are going to keep track of numbers, not dollars, for that very reason. So that's our goal, which feeds into our 135. The three priorities is, and I don't want to blow you away with this, but is 3 events. It's 3 events. You need to do an event in the spring, an event in the summer, and an event in the fall. All right. Now, that sounds maybe overwhelming, but we have a system for you, right? Is that to do 3 events, what do you need to do first? We need to do 1 event. Would you guys agree that we need? Okay. So if we're going to do 1 event, that leads to our strategies. So we have 5 strategies, and you might want to write this down. Okay. The 5 strategies are plan, invite, confirm, event, follow up. Those are the 5 sequences of event mastery: planning mastery, invitation mastery, confirmation mastery, event mastery, and follow up mastery. Everybody good? You feel like your database business plan is coming together, right? So let's keep going on that. And I have to tell you that the biggest mistake that I'm seeing with people doing their business plans and looking to 2026 is everybody's talking about the what and the how. They're talking about like number of transactions and what are you going to do and how are you going to do it? And we're not spending enough time on the why and the who. And the why and the who are what's really going to make the biggest difference for you in the next year. Because when you identify the why and you identify the who, you know what happens? The what and the how appears. So why is a big deal. Like, Jason, why do you want to make $300,000? Like, why?
It lets me have the kind of lifestyle I want to have with my family. Take my kids to the places I
So
want to
how
go.
do we represent that? Like how does that represent? Is that a new house? Is it a new car? Is it something for your kids? Is it private school? Is it what represents that for you?
Yeah, private school would be good, but just like vacations and
There you go.
being
Where would you
able
go
to,
on vacation?
we always go. I'm in Tennessee, so we go to the Gulf of Mexico a lot, the Gulf
Oh,
states. It
when's the
just
last time you went?
October.
Okay, so you just went and you still want to go back?
Yeah,
That is a good place then, right?
yeah.
So, I mean, like Disney World, every time I go to Disney, I never want to go back. And then like 3 or 4 years later, we go back. Like it's one of those, right? But the Gulf, right? It's nice. So a way that we could really visually represent this for 2026 is you going to the Gulf, like a picture, right, of a place on the Gulf where you guys go, Airbnb or whatever it is. And then, like, how would you plus that event next year? How would you plus that vacation next year for your family? What is something you did or you didn't do that you want to do?
Oh yeah. We didn't go out on the dolphin tour and see the dolphins on the boat. That kind
Yep.
of got away from
Did you
us.
stay on did you stay on the water?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So it's one of those where you have a picture of the place you want to stay with the dolphins jumping in the water, right?
Right.
So that's the picture that's going to go up on your computer. It's going to go up on your wall. It's whatever you want to put that to visualize what that represents. But it's one of those so you guys he's very clear on his why. Is he wants to take his children and his family on fantastic vacations. And guess what? That's a part of it. And for some people, it's paying off their house. They want to make enough money to pay off their house. So what we do is we have a picture of their mortgage and their payoff note, and we put a big X through it and we put it up on their wall. And we take a picture of it and we put it as their screensaver on their computer. So their why is front and center all year long. So that's the why aspect. Get in touch with why are you doing this business? Like, why do you want to earn this money? Why do you want to get these referrals? Why do you want to help these people? The second part is the who. And this is kind of, I want to lead you into the last 15 to 20 minutes here with focusing on who in 2026. So who should we hang out with in 2026? Who should we hang out with?
Winners.
Yes, winners. Like, how do we identify a winner? What's the difference between a winner and a loser?
Those that are meeting their goals.
So goal setters, like do you listen in your database or in your sphere? Are there goal setters and are there people who are not goal setters?
Yes.
Right. So here's the first thing I'm going to throw out to all of you is, have you identified them? Do you have a list of goal setters that you have listed out? And if you have not, that's your first activity in December. And here's where I'm going with this is that in my business, when I got started, I knew 50 people. I listed everybody I knew 50 people. And people say sphere of influence. I had no influence. I knew them and they didn't like me. That was basically the circle that I had. It was not sphere of influence. It was sphere of fear, if you will, right? So now, was it pretty inexpensive to get all of them Chiefs calendar or Chiefs schedule, Royal schedule, and calendars every year? It was pretty cheap. The next year, I had 250 people that I knew. 250 people I knew because I was meeting a lot of people. So now, is it more expensive or less expensive to send Chief schedules, Royal schedules, and calendars to 250 people than it was 50? Yeah, it was 5 times the amount of cost, 5 times. Well, then as I'm making the plan for the next year, I was planning on adding about 250 people to the database or to the sphere. And it was one of those where it's like, dang, like this is getting pretty costly. And I had to make a decision. You guys remember like in school when you brought bubble gum to the class? You guys know where I'm going with this? And like you had like 35 in your class, but you had 10 pieces of bubble gum and you were handing out the bubble gum. What did the teacher say?
You got to give it to everyone.
If you don't have enough for everyone, don't give anyone a piece. Yes, right? So that was my philosophy in year 3. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to, if I can't give everyone a Chief schedule, Royal schedule, and calendar, I'm going to give nobody, right? How do you think that worked out for me? It did not work out very well for me. But here's what I discovered that same year. The people in our database and in our sphere have different values. As Katie would say, there are winners and then there are the other not winners. There are people in our database and in our sphere who are fun, energetic, successful, goal setting, friendly, helpful, supportive, and like cheerleaders for us and our lives. Would you agree there are people you get along with better than you don't? Your goal, your job this month is to identify those people. You need to identify who you want to hang out with in 2026. All right. So how many of you like, I'm trying to think of an example. So I've got 2 free tickets to the Bahamas. You're going. Who's going with you? Who's going with you? I need you to write down that person's name. Who's going with you? If you're married and it's not your spouse, I'm just saying that's probably a conversation for another day. But you don't feel obligated that you have to take your spouse. I'm just saying, right? I mean, if you feel obligated, then then that's a conversation too. But all right. So now I just found out that there are 4 spots, right? So did everybody write down the one person? Right? I'm telling you, write it down. You're laughing because some of you are married and you did write down your spouse. That's fine. That's fine, right? But now there are 4 seats and it has to be 21 and over. So they got to be 21 and over to make this trip. Who are the next 2 people you're bringing? I really want you to write these names down because it's all going to make sense here in a few minutes. Right? So Angie, who would you write down?
So at first, yes, my husband, and then for the 2 additionals, I wrote down our best friends, and the reason being is that they're the whole package. They're fun to be around. They're motivated. They're inspired. I mean,
You
that's
got it.
perfect
You got
company.
it. Right? All right. So, and everybody kind of has that same thing going, right? And if you've got kids over 21, maybe those are the 2 you brought or whatever it may be, right? So now here's what happened. And this just happened. It literally just happened. I got 2 more seats to go to the Bahamas. So who are the next 2 people that you are going to be bringing? I want you to write down those names of those people. Everybody got them? Everybody has your name plus 5 other names. Anybody having trouble with this exercise? Anybody having trouble? Tracy Dixon, you good? You good? You awake over there? You're starting to lean on me. All right. So, does it make sense that we should spend more time with these 5 people in 2026? Does it make sense? All right. So now the key here is that these 5 people are going to be a core to what I call the VIP club. The one thing that people who get a lot of referrals do, that people who don't get a lot of referrals don't do, is the ones who get a lot of referrals have identified their VIP club. So these first 5 people are going to be in what you call a business VIP club. And you're like, well, they're personal, they're good. Yeah, exactly. But they're going to help you develop your business and they're going to help you grow your business in 2026. That's what they're going to do. All right. So that leads me to your job in this month is to identify the top people in your life, and you're just going to label that group of people your VIP club. Everybody good? How many of you know you could go through your phone and do this in the next couple of hours? You realize that it's going to go really, really fast. You don't know 200 VIPs. I'm sorry. You don't. You're like, yes, I do. And I'm like, no, you don't. The biggest group of VIPs I ever had was 199 people, and I had 20,000 people in my phone, right? So it's like there's not as many of those people as you think. So it's so manageable, ladies and gentlemen. What I discovered when I had 2,500 people in my phone was that I only really needed to focus on less than 100 of them to maximize my referrals. Now, isn't that a breath of fresh air that I need to spend my time with less than 100 versus 2,500? And that is so counter to everything you read in marketing or blasting emails. We don't mass, we don't blast, we don't bulk anything. We are going to be more like a sniper and less like a shotgun with our approach for 2026. And I'll tell you right now, it's quality over quantity. We are going to focus on quality, not quantity, because you know what I know you all don't need? You don't need any more quantity. You need more quality. And the way to get it is to focus on quality. Now, I'm going to tell you a little secret. The more you focus on quality, you end up with a quantity of quality. And that's the best of all worlds. So that leads me to why you're here today, essentially, is my time has essentially come to the end, but I want to spend some more time with you. Are you guys open? How many of you would like to spend more time with me? Because now you realize that he's not funny, but he has something to share, right? Anybody want to spend some more time with me? Right? So 2 of you, I appreciate that. I love that. That makes my, I mean, for you two, I just want you to know I love you. I'm with you. All right. So here's the thing that I want you to know is that we are doing an event class starting on January 6th. There is no better time to do an event than the week of Valentine's Day. You might want to write that down. By the way, and this is the truth, I truly believe the most important week of the year to do an event for 2026 is the week of Valentine's Day. And you're going to do an I love you latte, or you're going to do a happy hour, or you're going to do a wine tasting. I'm going to help you. By the way, the first, and I'll just share this with you if I can get to it. So here's what it looks like essentially. Hopefully this will switch over to the. All right. Can you guys see that okay? Give me a thumbs up if you can see it. Or Mandy, just yell at me. So this is Event Mastery VIP edition. So it's every Tuesday and Friday. It starts January 6th with planning mastery. That makes sense. We need to plan our event out. Then I'm going to show you invitation mastery in the second week. In the third week, I'm going to show you how to get the event paid for by leveraging sponsors and partnering, not taking advantage of, but partnering with sponsors. Week 4, I'm going to show you how to partner with a charity to get even more referrals and help a charity. And I'm going to show you how we're going to get referrals at the event. Okay. Then I'm going to share with you how to get people to actually attend your event, Confirmation Mastery. Week 6 is Valentine's week. Just so you know, that is the week of Valentine's. And I am going to hold your hand to doing that event. Okay. So I'm going to literally step by step tell you how to host the event. And then after the event's over, I'm going to show you how to get referrals through the fortunes and the follow-up. So this is literally 12 plus 1 sessions, the bonus session of follow-up mastery and the referral system number 2. And it starts January 6th, and you can sign up a couple of different ways. You can go to vipeventmastery.com, which is in my name, VIP event, or you can scan this QR code that is behind me. Can you guys see that? If you scan that QR code, you will go to the fast track. And ladies and gentlemen, this is normally $397 a month, but it is $99. It's already been adapted. This will switch, and I don't know if it's the end of the day or the end of the week. It's going to switch back to $397, but for today, we made it $99 a month. And I want you to know, you're going to get my coaching twice a week, every week for January and February. Now, if you don't like the sound of my voice and you don't like my sense of humor, do not sign up because you're going to get a lot more of it. But if you want to host a referral generating, profitable, fun event, I'm going to help you do it at the lowest investment in the history of event mastery. So, any questions? Any questions on anything?
I got this to come up, but I don't see the link where to sign up.
Did you go to vipeventmastery.com?
I did your QR code behind you.
Well, I don't know. Good call. Well, if you're having trouble with it, maybe go to vipeventmastery.com. I did scan the QR code and it worked for me. So let me try that again.
Oh, I've got it. I had to click on the individual person. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Oh, you don't want to do the Market Center at $1,500 a month? Come on,
No.
Rachel, step
Sorry.
up. What a gift. Could you imagine how many people would love you in your market center if you're like, came back? I just bought Event Mastery VIP for the whole market center. I'm just kidding. You don't have to do that, but
That would be
I
a
don't
good
have
thing.
I don't have a question, Michael, so much as just wanting to, before we leave, to I listened to your podcast, and also this book was given to me when I first got into the business, and it's a book that I've learned you study. You don't read it once and put it away. It stays here on the corner of my desk.
wow.
Anytime I don't feel like making phone calls, I think about the levels of. I
the
open it up
the
right here,
coach. Yep.
and I'm like, hey, if you want to make your goals, you gotta stay in that level of influence. And I have bought probably about 20 copies and given this away. And yeah, I just always tell people this and another book, Exactly What to Say. I'm sure you're familiar with that book. These
Yep.
are two that stay here on the corner of my desk, and I appreciate you writing that book, because it's been very influential for me.
Well, thank you for saying that. I really, really appreciate it. And I love how you're using it and referring to it often. It is one of those where the first read, people kind of read it to see how the story's going to end. And then the second time they read it, they catch like a few of the strategies. And then the third time they read it, they catch like more of the strategies. And then like, you read it 9 times, and even on the ninth one, I just had Brad Korn, who has been my friend for 25 years in real estate. He called me just like a couple of weeks ago, and he's Maher, Maher, like, has success suicide been in your book since the beginning? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, this is the first time I've heard it. And man, I am going through success suicide. I have so many opportunities right now. I got sick, and it's like, all right, so I got to just keep going, right? I'm like, just keep going. You might, you might not be as good and you may not feel like it, but just keep going, because it's the breakdown before the breakthrough, and you're about to break records. So it's so fun. I mean, this is a guy who, has known me forever, and he picked up something new from the book. It had to be the 10th to 12th time he's read it. So, all right. So Event Mastery VIP edition, what we're going to do is we're going to help you form your VIP club, identify your VIPs, and then we're going to do an event for them the week of Valentine's Day, and we're going to get referrals from them. That's it. And by the way, you're going to get 4 or 5 sponsors who are going to pay for the event gladly, and you're going to endorse them. So make sure you don't get sponsors you can't endorse, but they're going to pay for it. And you're also going to help a charity out along the way. Questions, ahas, anything from today? I'll hang out for another 5 minutes. Or you can challenge me. You could say, this will never work in my market, right? Or whatever.
Just to mention real quick.
Yeah.
Yes, I actually do have an event planned already for my VIPs, and I did try to go and I scanned the QR code, but I did not see a direct link to the promotion that you have.
It might be easier to go to VIPeventmastery.com and just type that in, but the QR code works, but I think it comes open up, and then you've got to choose between market center or individual. You want to choose individual to get the $99 a month pricing.
And it did ask for a code number or something of that effect.
I don't. Graham, do you know anything on that?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
A code. There's a coupon code field on the page.
Yes,
Yes.
I
Yeah,
think
but you don't have to fill it out.
You
are getting you're getting the
anything-
coupon price.
Right.
Instead of creating one of those, we just dropped the price so it was easier.
So I go to
Yeah.
you as an individual. Okay.
No, you're
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah, anything with an asterisk, like contact information, that's required, but the coupon field you can bypass. No worries. Thank you for asking. Yep.
Awesome. Rachel, Rich, you had something to add or a question?
No, I was just going to say, sorry, everybody heard my stop. My golden doodle was jumping up on my laptop.
Anybody that has dogs or kids totally felt for you. Trust me.
Lord, I'm so sorry, y'all. I did not even realize I wasn't on mute.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that was a cuss word. I didn't know that you knew all those words. That was amazing. I'm just kidding. It was all good.
Stop.
I mean, you just seem like such a classy lady to be dropping the F-bomb at your Labradoodle. I'm just saying it was, I mean, it was awesome to hear that other people are like me and actually
Did I
talk to their
say,
dogs.
did I cuss?
Don't admit it. No, you would
I
never,
think
Rachel. You would never
think
say
I
anything
did.
like that. Here's what I love is I love that you just admitted that you could have. And you know what? That makes me
I
like you even more.
absolutely could have. Say hi, Finley.
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah. You said stop, just so you know. It was a 4-letter word, but it was an okay one. Right.
I totally understand. I had to step away because I just recently adopted a dog Argentino, and she's a handful. She demands too much attention. So hi to all the doggy lovers.
Amen. Yep. Half the time, Miles is at my feet. Like I have a Maltipoo, and he is usually whining for me to kick the ball, right? And it's like, yeah, I just took him out of here today because I was presenting. But it's this is the only dog around me today. Anybody know what this is? Anybody remember these?
Those were like 1980 pound
Easy.
puppies, right?
Pound puppy.
Easy.
Pound puppies.
It's a pound puppy. That's what this
Yeah.
little guy is. Yeah, this is my pound puppy right here. My pound puppy,
Hey,
right?
I'm an 80s baby. I'm an early 80s baby. I was almost a 70s baby. So
You don't even want to know. I'm a 60s baby. I mean, yeah, that's where Maher drops the mic. Yep. My son reminds me of it often. But I'm not a 6'7". I'm not a 6'7" guy, right? I'm after that, which is good. All right, question. Jaden, what was your biggest aha?
It's not really a question, but I was an aha, but I was curious as to like what your top 3 events have been in terms of getting referrals.
That's a good question. So here's what I'll tell you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the type of event. It's the system that generates referrals. That's the key, right? So one of the things I'm going to cover in Event Mastery VIP Edition is how to choose which type of event matches your VIPs. That's the most important thing is you don't want to have a bowling event if your VIPs are not likely to show up to a bowling event. Would you agree? So I'm going to give the first 2 weeks, I have a play, run the play, win the day, right? I have a play that is going to blow you away the first 2 weeks. It is a way to assure attendance at your event. But it doesn't just assure attendance at your event. It actually helps you pick the right event for your VIPs. So
Sounds good. Thank you.
yeah, absolutely. It even works in Canada, Jaden. Jaden, here's what I would
Amazing.
love. Here's what I would love. I would love to see you on stage at the end or like Family Reunion 2027, and you are Canada's most referred realtor.
So,
I like the sound of
Jaden,
that.
I need to know where you are in Canada because that's where I'm originally from, and all my family's still there and all my friends. So I'm in North Carolina. So tell me, and I would be happy.
Where are you in Canada, Jaden?
I'm in Toronto.
Okay. My brother lives in Kitchener.
Oh, nice, nice. I was actually just in Charlotte, but anyways, we can have a conversation. We
What?
can connect.
Come on!
I was just in Charlotte. I just got home last night from Charlotte. So,
Oh,
yeah.
nice. Yeah, we can definitely
I was
connect
just
in the
talking to
future.
a lady from Charlotte, literally just before this call. So crazy. Small world out there. All right.
It is.
Any other ahas or questions? Steven, how about you?
I have something to ask. Did
All
it
right,
freeze?
Steven, you figure out how to come off mute and we'll come back to you, right? Heather.
So when we were going back, you said identify the why and the who, and you went
Yeah.
into the what, what do you want, and then the goal setters. But you said something after that before you dived into that. It was identify the why and the who, and then you said something else right after that.
Well, so a lot of people are identifying the what and the how right now in their business plans.
Okay.
What we really need, what's really important, and what I said is the why and the who is going to determine your success in 2026 a lot more than the what and the how, right? Your why is what drives you, and your who is what's going to help you achieve your goals, right? It's really hard to get money from a what and a how because all the money is in the hands of the who. And I'm not sure if that answered your question.
It did. Thank you.
And Heather, are you related to Pam Gwynn at all?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. She's one of my favorite clients in the history of the world. So when I saw your last name, I instantly like warmed up. So
What do you know where she's from by chance?
you're not going to believe this. She's in freaking Carolina.
Really?
She's in Carolina, North Carolina. I'm not even joking. It's like,
I'm in
this
Georgia.
is like a
I'm in
North
Georgia.
Carolina call. You're where?
I'm in Georgia,
Where at?
I'm in Athens, Georgia.
Oh,
So,
now you're just bragging.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I'm from Bristol, Tennessee, and so my family is all throughout the Appalachian Mountains there, from North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee. So I could be.
Love it. I'm in Marietta, Georgia, by the way, north of Atlanta. All right, Steve, did we lose Steve? Instead of coming off mic, he just decided I'm out of here. All good. All right. Everybody, I appreciate you. I really do. And thanks for hanging out with me today. Hopefully this was okay as a conversation instead of me getting into PowerPoint prison and just like literally like we call it PowerPoint karaoke. I read what's on the screen to you and you get bored out of your skull. So hopefully this was a lot better as far as doing it this way. Steven, you're back. And
I'm back.
you're off mute. Welcome,
Right.
dude.
Right. I was like, stop hanging around with bums and start hanging around with goal setters,
Yeah, and winners, right?
Yeah.
And cool people, energetic people.
Yeah.
And a great way to do that is to invite them to an event where they get to hang out with each other. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. And I discovered all of this by accident, really, to be honest with all of you. I with my very first transaction, I did a housewarming party. The reason I did a housewarming party was because the guy was on my softball team and all we did as softball players was party. So I thought we're having a party at his house. And then it was like he invited his family, his wife invited her family, and then I invited the 20 neighbors around him, and I got 11 referrals at that very first event. So I became the buyer's agent who did housewarming parties if you bought a house through me. And you would not believe how many people picked me, not because I was a good negotiating guru or good at what I did. They picked me because they wanted to have a housewarming party. So I was doing these housewarming parties, and it was just like, I have all these people I know, like they don't know each other though. So then I had an event where I invited people from all these parties, and they got together, and it was a huge blast. And they all gave me credit for being the most awesome guy in the world for getting them together for an event. But honestly, Stephen, I didn't do anything. I didn't do a lot. All I did was invite them to get together. I didn't even talk. I didn't say anything to anyone the whole event. I went to the bathroom for half of it. Like it was like, and they were all like, "Oh, Michael, you're the best. Michael, Michael, you're so connected." And it was like, I didn't know anybody. I didn't really know any of them because they were all housewarming party people, right? So it was basically, how do I take the people who went to parties and invite them to a party, and they all went to a party, which just like, that's the easiest thing in the world. So, so that's essentially how I discovered. Now we have, now we have a literally like a 96 point checklist event system that churns out predictable referrals. And, Jaden was talking, I want 15 referrals in 2026, Jaden, you're going to get 15 referrals the week of Valentine's Day. I'm going to show you how to do it in Event Mastery VIP edition. I'm not even joking. I'm not lying. I believe I might be under promising. So good stuff. Everybody good? All right. I do have to thank Mandy, who is our director of operations at Referco, for her help in putting this on. And also, I would be remiss if I did not thank Graham and the KW Maps group and all of the map support that we get in putting on Zooms like this and setting up the page and everything else for Event Mastery. And just really, really appreciate Graham's support and his team's support. And last but not least, I appreciate all of you and love all of you and just hope to see you in Event Mastery VIP edition. And if not, hope to see you at Family Reunion and Mega Camp and all the opportunities we have to get together in the future. So thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Hey, Michael,
Yes, Rachel.
can I ask you something real quick?
Of course, you're the one to
So-
ask after I do this beautiful farewell. Thank you for the
No,
Oscar.
it was really something like
I was walking off stage. No, go ahead. All good.
no, it was really something like off camera, like nothing. that
Oh,
would
we can
pertain-
stop recording. Can we stop
Well,
recording?
no, not like that.
Oh, you want
I
to
just meant-
be on the you want to be on the record saying this?
It doesn't matter. So
Are
I
you-
signed up
okay.
at Mega Agent Camp with you for this
Okay.
group, but this is the first time I've like tuned into anything, come into anything. Do we have a referral group
Yes.
set up?
Go to
We
go
do.
to joingengen.com.
Okay,
You will
join
get an
Gen Gen.
email. You signed up for VIP edition?
I did.
Okay. You will get an email where it shows go to joingengen.com.
Okay.
That's the Generosity Generation and the KW referral group.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
You're very
You're the
welcome.
best. Appreciate it.
You're the best. Let's not argue. We're the best.
We are the best. That's right. Absolutely. All right.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. By the way, if you guys have any questions, support@referco.com will get you our entire team. So support@referco.com is always a good way to go.
Okay, perfect. I did
All right.
sign up for your events class, so I'm excited about that because in the 3 years I've been doing real estate, I have not done one event.
Yeah. We're gonna break it in gentle. Well, I mean, you could not have picked a better event mastery to take. Event Mastery VIP edition is a micro event. So it's just so much more manageable than trying to do an all sphere event, which you'll do in April, by the way. I'll help you do that
Okay.
one too.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for your help.
All right.
right,
Absolutely.
take care.
My pleasure.
Bye-bye.
See you, everybody.